How are you doing? This is Edith Newmeyer, and today I want to talk about things that will happen after the rapture. I'm going to warn people, okay? I'm going to warn people. Hopefully this video will be seen by those people that missed the rapture. I hope so. And it is also supposed to warn people. Those people that say, oh no, the rapture is not going to happen. Oh my goodness, no, it's not going to happen for a long time and the signs are not there. And oh no, it can't happen yet. Or maybe people really that don't want the rapture to happen, that don't want the day of the Lord to start. In my last video, I explained exactly about the progression of the day of the Lord. That's the next thing that will happen. And you know, this time of the Gentiles that Luke is talking about in Luke 21, I think 25 or 24, is going to be coming to an end. The humankind, the time that God gave humankind is coming to an end. It's almost 6,000 years. And that almost 6,000 years is coming to an end. And the end is when? The end of humankind is on the Feast of Trumpets, people. That's when the Jews celebrate the creation of Adam. And that is when humankind was created. And so a full 6,000 years later, the time of the humankind is coming to an end. That's when Jesus returns, on exactly that day, on the Feast of Trumpet. Now, of course, I don't know what year, so no, I can't tell you. I'm not setting the day or the hour, but I know on what feast, because he always points in his feast to the things that Jesus will fulfill. Now, if you want to be ignorant and not be one of the wise virgins, but want to be one of the foolish virgins, guess what? You're not going to make it in the rapture. Look again in Matthew 25. What does Matthew 25 say? That is the parable of the 10 virgins. He says there are 5 foolish ones that are not going to be prepared. And then there's 5 wise ones that the bridegroom will come and pick up. Yeah, it is a parable, but it is a parable that's very close to reality. And it describes exactly the time when Jesus returns. Exactly. And why are people ignoring that? I don't know. Jesus himself will come and pick his bride up. He promised it. He promised, always saying that. Jesus himself will come and pick his bride up. Not the angels. Not the angels. The angels will collect the elect at the end of the wrath of God. That's a different group of people. Now, when the day of the Lord starts, there's 2 groups of people. And the first group is the bride of Christ. And we see that in Revelation 7. Because that is when the wrath of God starts. In chapter 6 at the end, I think 16 and 17, it says that the people in this world know that the wrath is coming. And so then in chapter 7, we have these 2 groups described. One group that is in heaven, that was raptured, that's the multitude, clearly described as the bride of Christ. Can't be anybody else. There's no other group in heaven. There's the angels and there's the bride of Christ. That's it. Okay? And then there's the other group that is sealed, the 144,000 sealed. Now remember, 144,000 is a symbolic number. It's not the name of the group. The sealed is the group. Okay? The sealed. The number is just a symbolic number. But it's the sealed. Okay? Now the sealed are the foolish virgins that didn't make it into the chambers. And remember my previous video. I hope you saw that one with the chambers. When I say I saw exactly when the resurrection happens and the people of God go in the chambers, in the rooms that he prepared. That's, of course, the bride. But the 144 sealed are not going into the chambers. They're standing in front of the door and they're saying, Lord, what's going on? Open the door. And the Lord is saying, I don't know you. You did not have the Holy Spirit. You didn't follow me. You did your own thing. You said, yeah, I'm saved. You said, yes, I'm born again. You said, yeah, I have faith. But you didn't have the Holy Spirit because you followed your own path. You followed your own works. You did your own works. And you did not follow me in my footsteps. You didn't trust me. You trusted everybody else in the world, but you didn't trust me. You trusted your pastors, your teachers. You even trusted the government. You even trusted the healthcare system and, the doctors. Matter of fact, you even try to avoid coming to me through death because you're afraid to death. Remember, people, when you die, we are with Christ. And there's no need to panic or be afraid. Paul says to live means Christ, to die means gain. That's what he said. We are here to live for Christ only, but when we die, it's gain. We're not afraid. We're not trying to prolong our lives unnecessarily. Okay? Yeah, we don't want to take our lives and we don't want to just live unhealthy lives. We want to be here as long as we can so we can live for Christ and be a witness for him. But when our life is over, our life is over. And hallelujah, we're with the Lord. Just the way it is. And not, oh, poor little thing you couldn't live, 80 years. This world comes to an end. Every life is coming to an end. But what comes afterwards is what counts. Are we going to be with the Lord or not? That's what counts. But yeah, this is what's going to happen, people. When the day of the Lord starts, there's two groups. Are you standing in front of the door saying, Lord, open the door, and he says, I don't know you? Or are you the bride that is in the chambers? And if you're not in the chambers, bad things will happen. And I want to talk about that today. What kind of bad things will happen? Well, all we have to go is to Revelation. And of course, after Revelation 7 in 8, the wrath of God starts. Yeah, and look right there, what is happening in the wrath of God? Well, the first thing that you will see is if you're staying behind, you will realize that maybe some of your friends or family members are gone. Now, I'll tell you right now, most people, most Christians even, that call themselves Christians, most of these foolish virgins that are staying behind, it is possible that they don't even, or that they will be deceived by the government and will believe that the aliens took them. Because make no mistake that the government and Satan is prepared for the rapture. The foolish virgins definitely were not. Those people even that are not even foolish virgins, they're just named Christians, they will not miss anything. They will continue. They will believe what the government says. We see that today. How many followed the government blindly, okay, for the past 2 years? Those are the people that will continue to follow the government blindly. So we will not have too many left that are realizing, wow, the rapture happened. Why? Because the government and Satan has an excuse. What is their excuse? What could be their excuse? What I think will be their excuse is that they're saying the aliens got them. Okay? I don't see that from the Bible, but I see that from other sources. And I have mentioned that before. We see so much today about alien disclosure. And the government admitting, yeah, we have encountered flying objects that cannot be explained with anything, through anything that we have here on Earth. They're saying that. So they have already prepared humankind to believe in these aliens. They haven't said, oh, we have encountered or we actually have met some, but they have already met some. Believe me. Okay? The governments already have made contact with these beings. And you know what I think these beings are. They're fallen angels. There's no doubt. They are fallen angels. There's nobody else is out there. God made the fallen angels and God made humankind. We don't know of anything else. And so these beings are fallen angels. And they have been in contact with our governments for a long time. They have been giving them technology. This technology that we're having, really, I believe it came from the fallen angels. Fallen angels have worked with humankind from the beginning of time. If you read the book of Enoch, you can see all the things that the fallen angels gave to humankind, even before the flood. And they continue to do it. Like weapons, how to build weapons and all kinds of stuff. So, yeah, these aliens are here. And they will tell you, people, oh, the aliens took those people, these people that are just all of a sudden gone. Yeah, and they will do it. And people will believe it. There's only a very few that will not believe it. Like the 144,000 that are sealed. That's why they're sealed. Because they're realizing, hello, we missed the bridegroom. But now we have a chance to be part of the wedding as guests. And that's what these people need to remember. When you miss the rapture, people, and you're one of those foolish virgins, you stand at the door and you knock, and Jesus says, I don't know you. And you're realizing, wait a minute, I missed the bridegroom. I missed Jesus. I missed the Messiah. And then you have to know, hey, I have a chance to be part of the people that are invited to the wedding. Now, the bridegroom is not invited to the wedding, people. Okay? Just remember that. Hopefully, you are one of the people then that you are invited to the wedding. That's all I can say. Because you're not going to be bride. There's a difference between the ones that are invited to the wedding and the ones that are bride. The bride is not invited. The bride is the one that's inviting. Okay? So when you're left behind, you need to understand, hey, at least I have a chance to be invited. Now, the chance that you will be alive at the end of the wrath of God is very slim. But you have a chance to be resurrected. Okay? That's what Revelation 20 says. You have a chance to be resurrected with a human body. Not with a transformed body, because only the bride gets a transformed body. Yes, I know most people do not teach that. Most people are tapping around in dispensationalism, and they don't even come close to teaching this. But if you are one of those foolish virgins that are left behind because you refuse to believe that the rapture is going to happen, and you just had to believe that you're going to be one of these two witnesses. So yeah, if you think you one of those two witnesses, and there's people that believe that. There's people that believe there's more than 2 witnesses. It's more a group of people. But I don't know. I'm not 100% sure. But I know that these 2 witnesses will be here witnessing instead of the bride, okay, instead of the church. Right now, the church is proclaiming the gospel. And when the church is gone, hello, the witnesses will proclaim the gospel. Doesn't that make sense? Now, I don't know if it's exactly two witnesses, or is it a group of people? I don't know. He could mean, they could call themselves witnesses. But hey, if you want to lose your head, keep witnessing, because those people will lose their head during that time. That's what's going to happen. You're going to be very much persecuted. Very much. Because time is running out for Satan. And these people will be forced to bow down to the government. They will be forced to take the mark of the beast. That's what will happen during the wrath of God. See, I don't believe that this forcing of the mark will happen before the rapture. I don't think the bride is actually going to be exposed to that. That is going to be for the people, that foolish virgins that are left over. Those witnesses that are left over after the bride is gone. Somebody has to proclaim the gospel, and the two witnesses will do that. Now we see that the two witnesses are witnessing in Jerusalem, that they're actually being killed. I don't believe all witnesses will be killed in Jerusalem. No, they will be killed. I think those people will be killed. The 144,000, many of them will be, the sealed ones will be killed. A lot of them. Okay? But that's why I believe there's only two witnesses. Two major witnesses that will proclaim, hello, you guys missed the bride. You're not going to be you're not going to be part of the bride anymore, and Jesus will return within the next 3.5, 4 years. Yes, that's what they're going to preach. And they're going to kill him at the end of 3.5 years. But the wrath of God will have to continue until the next feast that has to be fulfilled. Remember I said the next feast that will be fulfilled from right now is the Feast of Trumpets. That's when the day of the Lord starts. That's when the people will be caught up. The bride will be caught up. That's when the day of the Lord starts. That's when the wrath of God starts. But then the next feast that will be fulfilled is Yom Kippur. And Yom Kippur will be fulfilled, I believe, after the two witnesses were killed. So that would be 3 or half a year later. I really believe that the two witnesses will start right after the rapture of the bride. Okay? Right after. Because nobody is going to be here that is doing the witnessing. The church is gone. The true church of Christ is gone. So God will bring forth these two witnesses right away. Okay? Maybe even a couple of months later. I don't know, but I think it's really right away. Because they will right away preach that the rapture happened. They will have what on? Sackcloth. Why are they wearing sackcloth? Because they missed the bridegroom. And they will mourn. Because sackcloth and ashes shows of mourning. That's why they have the sackcloth and ashes on. Because they're mourning. They're saying, oh my goodness, we missed the bridegroom. We missed Messiah. And they're going to say, hello, we're now in the wrath of God. And God is going to pour out our wrath, and you better repent. And guess what? Nobody really listens to them. They are so annoyed by them that they will kill them 3.5 years later. And they will all be very happy. The world will be happy when these two witnesses are killed. And they all will celebrate and give each other gifts. You believe that? That's what's going to happen. But then the wrath of God will have to continue. And then the end is here. It's very possible that after that, maybe even Jerusalem will be destroyed. Because we see that in Zechariah, that at the end of the battle of Armageddon, Jerusalem will be destroyed as well. And the people will go into exile. So yeah, I don't know. I think that will happen as well. So that's why it could be, the wrath of God will last at least 4 years. At least. It has to be the 3.5 years of the witnesses and then a little longer. But that's what you can expect if you're staying behind. Now, like I said, I don't think most people will not survive. Just read the wrath of God. Compare the wrath of God in Revelation 8 through 11 and Revelation 16. 16 is the bowls of God's wrath, and 8 through 11 are the trumpets. Look at them. They are the same. Okay? It's the same wrath of God. It's just looking at it from a different angle. When you overlap, when you see them side by side, you can actually see similarities. Okay? Especially look at similarities of the fifth ones, the fifth and the sixth. The sixth is the Armageddon. You see how they're the same in the fifth. Okay? You can see it. The first you can't see because they're totally different. In the first bowl, they get boils. In the first trumpet, they will have, let me see. I'm going to tell you right away. First angel sounded a trumpet, and there came hail and fire. So that's the trumpet. Hail and fire, the first one, hail and fire. That's not the same as the first bowl, where you get boils, because you took the mark of the beast. Okay? But those happen at the same time. Okay? They happen at the same time. These two events are similar. Happen at the same time. And then the second one, I think you can see it more. Second angel sounded his trumpet, and something like a huge mountain, all glazed, was thrown in the sea, and it was destroying 1/3 of the sea. Okay, so when you go then to the, I can go to 16, which is the second angel. It says here, in the sea, and it turned into blood like that of the dead person. And that's all he says here. But why is it turned into blood? It's the result of the mountain falling into the sea and poisoning everything. So you know there is similarities, and you see that in the trumpets it's better explained. Okay? You have more explanation than in the bowls. The bowls are kind of short. But they're the same event. A lot of people don't believe that because they're confused, and they're saying, oh, God's wrath doesn't happen until whatever, the 7th bowl or something, or the 6th bowl. Because there is some confusion in it. There's definitely confusion, because somebody put in there, he will come like a thief in the night. And I don't think this is in the chapter 11 or someplace where it says he will come like a thief in the night. Oh, it's in the middle of Armageddon. That's when all of a sudden they put in there, and I don't think it was John that did it. He will come like a thief in the night. In the middle of describing Armageddon, let's see, that is in, is it 9? Yeah. Yeah, I think that's what it is. No, maybe not. Somewhere that's what it says. Just in the middle. I don't know. It could have been, I don't know where it was. But that's when people think, that's why people think the wrath of God is not described until later on. And that's why they think, oh, this is when the rapture happens. But no, you need to understand that that verse does not even fit in there. I'm going to hold my video and then find it for you. Okay, I see that. It's actually in Revelation 16. I thought it was with the trumpets, but it's with the bowls. And in 15, so it's Revelation 15, it says, look, I'm coming like a thief. Blessed is the one who stays awake and remains clothed, so as not to go naked and be shamefully exposed. Now, this is definitely a verse that is referring to the rapture, Jesus coming for his bride. But this is really, it shouldn't be there. Matter of fact, in the NIV, it's indented and set apart from the rest of the text because it obviously does not fit in there. That section is about the Armageddon war, and then all of a sudden this appears in there and it does not make sense. And that's why I think this is probably was in the margin and somebody put it in there later on. And yeah, that does happen many times. I mentioned that many times that has happened. That things that were in the margin were all of a sudden put in there in the text. And they just totally didn't think about why they placed it right there. It could have been better at the end, whatever, I don't know. But there, no, it doesn't fit there. But anyways, I'm kind of distracted from the subject because of this. But nevertheless, we can see the wrath of God. And we also know that before the wrath of God, Jesus will pick up his bride. We learned that in our last video with Isaiah 26. Read it again if you still, or watch my video if you still don't believe it. So now these people that didn't make it, these foolish virgins that did not make it into the rapture, okay? And are standing in front of the door and saying, Lord, what's going on? We have done everything. We have even cast out demons in your name. And hey, why don't you know us? They're now having to go through all this mess. And on top of it, they don't even have a chance to be bride. Okay, they can be guests to the wedding. But I'd rather be bride than guest to the wedding. I guess it's your choice. Do you want to be bride? Do you want to be guest to the wedding? Do you want to die during the wrath of God where at least 2/3 of humankind will even die or even more, including you, and you're going to be, persecuted and forced to take the mark or the head will go off? So you're going to have to make up your mind what you want to do. And a lot of people say, oh, God will protect us. Then if he protects you, why is the Bible saying that they will force the mark of the beast on you and the head goes off? Why do you think? No. If a meteor hits your house, you're still going to be gone. God is not going to protect you. You're going to die. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because you're not going to be bride of Christ. For me, that is horrible. Not to be bride of Christ. Well, thank goodness that God gives us a second chance and says, okay, if we're not making it, in the huppah, when he comes, we're not making it into the chambers, that we will be, those people will be guests to the wedding. At least you have something to look forward to. You're still going to be mourning like the two witnesses with sackcloth. Okay? You're still going to be wailing. There'll be wailing and mourning. Okay? That's why people, when they see the Son of Man coming in the clouds, it's too late. People, it's too late. When you see him in the clouds, yeah, people will be wailing. Because they rejected him before. And hopefully, at least, you have realized right after the rapture what has happened. And you're not fooled by the political system. I'll tell you right now, if you've been fooled for the past 2 years by this political system, you will be fooled even after the rapture. I'll guarantee you that. If you're not starting to at least wake up somehow, you will be fooled. And hopefully, maybe they have not taken off my videos, and maybe you will come across my videos after the rapture and you're realizing what has happened. That's all possible. But I'll tell you right now, after the rapture, things will get worse. Persecution will get worse. If you're not going along with traditional Christianity, and I hope you understand what traditional Christianity is, because the churches will be full. I'll guarantee you right now, those churches will be full, just like they were full of people that took this, right? You know what this is? Before. They were full. People that took it. They went along. People that put that one on. And it's going to continue. Once fooled, you're going to be fooled. Okay? You're going to be continuously fooled. Because once you open the door for Satan, he is here for good. He's here for good. But the Lord is merciful. I know that. And I know he's going to have his 144,000 sealed. And there's going to be people that will continue to hold on to Jesus. But people, you cannot put foot on the regular churches anymore. You're going to have to come out and you're going to have to be in hiding. It's just what it's going to be. I don't think that the mark of the beast will be placed on people before the wrath. Before the wrath or before the rapture. I think it will come right after the rapture. That's when they really hammer down on people being, controlled. Because see, what happens after the rapture is that the wrath of God starts, and we're going to have all these catastrophic events. I just saw an interview with this guy, David Dubine. Yeah, Dubine. David Dubine. I put the interview on Great Deceptions of the End Times Facebook page. And you can look him up too. His, Is he on YouTube? Yes, he is on YouTube. Adapt 2030. That's what he has on his YouTube and BitChute as well. So Adapt 2030. That's his channel. And he talks quite a lot about this. It's called electromagnetic reversal, or he's talking a lot about the electromagnetic field that's weakening right now and how it affects the growing cycles. He is expecting that we're running into big problems with our crops starting this fall. And I think the highest point, he says, is in 24. So that's in 2 years. So it's going to get worse and worse. And so the government will have to control us even more because they will ration food. We're already seeing that coming. The government is already telling us, or the government knows it's coming, and they're telling us, hey, we're going to get a food shortage, and we better get used to it. And once the food shortage is coming, people, they're going to control us even more because they're going to ration the food. And so we're getting a ration card, but it's not going to be a card anymore. It's going to be on your hand. Okay? So food is going to be rationed. That's why I really believe that this rapture can happen very, very soon. Because that is also telling us that the wrath of God is coming close. I have done videos about it, and you can go back and really look at my videos, people. This is not something that I'm just starting. It's not something that I'm just coming up with, on my own. I'm doing a lot of research. I'm listening to a lot of people. And this guy also mentioned suspicious observers. Also available on, YouTube. And he tells you a lot of these things like the catastrophic cycle. What is our government telling us? Oh, climate change. And we're causing it. No, it's something that's coming from outside the universe. He's saying this again, this David Dubine said it again, that already you can see these changes in the other planets. He didn't talk about a 10th planet or planet X or anything like that. He's saying that the change in our solar system starts on the other planets, which is a possibility that there's planet X. I don't know. Some people say, no, it is not. It has only to do with catastrophic cycles. And this suspicious observer, he claims that there is no planet X. I don't know. But one thing I can see is what I can see with my own eyes and how things are changing. And of course, then there's people that believe in flat earth and don't even believe there's anything out there. It's like, oh my goodness, how can you close your eyes? So how do you explain all the things, that things are changing on the other planet? Oh, the other planets don't exist either. I don't know. But the bottom line is, people, that things are changing. The weather patterns are changing. I don't care if you believe in a round earth, flat earth, square, whatever. It's all a simulation anyways, kind of thing. That's what I believe. So it's all electronic, electromagnetic. It's all electromagnetic, people. And what's electromagnetic? Computer is electromagnetic. So it's what? A simulation. So I don't know how everything is related, but one thing that we know is that something catastrophic is coming. And that's why we know that the day of the Lord is close. Okay? So if you want to be one of the foolish virgins, be my guest. Be my guest. I'm coming to an end, people. Keep your eyes open. This David Dubine didn't say anything about end times prophecy. He just simply says what he has observed for years. Has observed for years, people. And what others have observed for years. And many people, they just want to close their eyes, watch TV, or play their video games. But really, I'm coming to an end. Let the Holy Spirit guide you always.